It's good to be back. Hey yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Villy, right? And welcome back to The Village. I'm here on YouTube documenting my journey of self-improvement and personal development and all of its trial and error 1 week at a time. And today, I'd like to talk to y'all about something in particular. Disclaimer, if you will. I am flawed, alright? I feel like with a channel like this one, with an individual talking about things like self-improvement and personal development, it can come across, it's easy for it to come across as this person has got it all figured out, or even that I'm attempting to appear as if I have it figured out. So I've decided to make a specific video just talking about the idea that I am flawed and some of my shortcomings, in hopes that perhaps somebody out there can relate and we can offer support, and also show that I have no problem. I think it's a part of the growth journey to acknowledge where your downfalls might be, and be fully aware on how exactly you can improve. Right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. I think I struggle a lot with consistency. I heard this term called love bombing, where somebody gets in a relationship and just does everything right, super sweet, super nice, for like the first couple months, and then it all dies down, and then they begin to show their true colors. I think I have a bad habit of work bombing. Okay, I can start a new job and be like star employee, but after a little while, I start to get burnt out, or I can get lazy, or start to cut corners, or just not want to show up at all. And that's if I'm gonna be honest, that's a reoccurring issue for me. And it's a fear that I had going into creating content. Like, is it gonna be more of the same? Am I just gonna go super hard at first and then eventually just it fall by the wayside, and I just go back to doing what I've always been doing? So that's one thing I struggle with. I struggle with cleanliness. I'm not the tidiest person. I can let a mess pile up until it becomes no longer non-addressable. But I'm actively working on that. Again, it's trial and error, building personal development, right? Keyword develop, right? We have to develop into it. I've made videos about my alternate day fasting, alternate day fasting. And I stick by it as best as I can, but there are days that are my fasting days and I just choose to eat because I'm hungry. Simple as that. That does deter my growth and progress, but it's the long game. All right, if you're gonna knock yourself down and beat yourself up every time you're slacking, that's just what it is. Ain't no back story, ain't no motivational part to it. That's just what it is. I ate because I was hungry. Yes, I'm supposed to be alternate day fasting, but I be hungry sometimes, so I be eating. I'm not gonna lie. What else? I'm not the most on top of it as far as responsibility goes. I can miss appointments. I forget to follow back. I'm terrible with emails. I'm a terrible texter. I can see a message and think to respond, and then look up 2 weeks later and see it's still with the little blue dot next to it. It wasn't even opened. It's not personal. It's just a lack of urgency, I guess. I came across this book in the library called The Mindful Leader. I forget the author, but in that book they mentioned absent-mindedness. And I think all the time I've been labeling it more as like brain fog, and maybe it's like a symptom, but that's why I've been doing ashwagandha and practicing mindfulness, and trying to lay off of cannabis and things like that to help with the brain fog. But I think it's actually absent-mindedness. I'm gonna look more into that and just dive deeper into that term and what exactly that can mean, because I've read something a little bit about it, and I think I can relate to some of the things that one would label as absent-minded, right? And to be honest, the list can go on and on. Now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I could probably sit here for the next 2 hours and talk about all the things that I could be doing wrong or could be better at or could be doing better. But I'll spare you all the time, and just the point is, I'm I'm my own biggest critic, okay? So if anybody happens to be out there and sees my journey that I'm on and sees the videos and takes it as somebody that's trying to, like I know it all, or I'm trying to put up some type of facade, that's not it. I'm just learning and presenting what I've learned in a way to where perhaps somebody else that is interested or hasn't really been introduced to a theory or a topic can be presented the lesson or the hack or whatever it is from somebody that's actually struggled with it and tried things to help it become better in that way. I don't know, just a sense of relatability, I suppose. That's the whole point of these weekly Wednesday videos. This is a little quick one for the beginning of season 2 of the channel, but I did feel like it was important for me to kind of put it out there, okay? This video is just going to be titled, I Am Flawed. I don't know how many people will click it. I don't know how many people will see it or view it, but the fact that it's out there on the channel is good enough for me, because at the end of the day, I want transparency and honesty with this channel, and a certain level of understanding that none of us are perfect. As long as we're trying our best and attempting to be better than we were yesterday, I think that's all anybody can ever ask of anybody. And of course, if you're familiar, say it with me. We are ever learning, growth oriented, and evolutionary thinkers here in the village. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We have a lot of fun videos and content coming out at the tail end of this year, beginning in the fall. Again, we got the podcast coming up. We're starting up the Tell Me About It videos again. And again, stay locked in on all the social media huts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even the email hut. All right, if you don't know, we have something called the email hut. The email will be in the description as well as the channel bio. That's where you can stay up to date on where I'm. If you're in the Albany area, Albany, New York, the capital region, you can know where I'll be actually conducting the Tell Me About It series, as well as motivational, inspirational quotes from past great humans in our society. And in the future, once merch comes rolling out, you'll have exclusive deals and things like that all through the email hut. So that's another great one to check out if you're interested. Okay, I hope everybody out there is healthy, happy, and continuing to try. And with all that said, until next time, the